We are live. We are live at the new location, the revamped and remodeled location here at Lovecraft Cocktails, where we are not, I repeat, not showing you the aftermath of our famous tiki party. But I am showing off my dead sexy voice. Yeah. What do you think of that? Huh? That nice? You like the deep, resonant tones here? So we received a visit at the household, which put a kibosh on doing the party. Yeah, you guessed it. COVID got us. Star has continued to check out as negative, but I've had a positive PCR test, and I was having, I had multiple at-home tests testing positive prior to the PCR test. So that was, what was the first test? Wednesday?
Wednesday was your first positive test.
This stuff is weird. It's very weird. Different symptoms every day, different combinations of symptoms. Some days, brand new symptoms. The only thing I have missed entirely is the fever. I have not had a fever at any point. So, yeah, no party. Just a party of two, or if you count the cats, 4.
Pity party.
A pity party. Yeah, there we go. That's actually quite nice the way you have that set up there, hun, because now I can see it.
Okay.
So that's actually cool. So we were doing stuff for the bar, for the party, and look at what we got. We have a new setup for the bar. What do you think? Kind of cool? Kind of nifty? I don't know. I may have to do something about the lighting because it seems very, I don't know, it feels a little disco to me. But, in any case, let's just do that.
Yeah. I may move it in a bit.
Yeah. How about the green? Just do green, like that. Just keep it with the green. Okay, so we are.
Should I move the camera in?
Oh yeah, so we can now move things in so that you can actually see me and see what I'm doing. That might be nice.
I'm gonna show how we read it in front of the bar.
Yep, we may move the shelves out a little bit, put a little spacing in there, that sort of thing. But you know, whatever. We're all good. It's happy here, I guess.
Okay. Turbulence.
Turbulence. Be careful, folks. Hopefully you haven't been drinking up to this point. And I have no idea, because I cannot see through my dear wife, whether or not we've got good visuals. Probably. We're probably.
You can almost see the new sink, but not quite.
Almost see the new sink over here. So I had a sink that was only about yay deep, and the faucet turn-on knob thing was on the right side, and I'm right-handed, which you would think would work, except that it doesn't, because I usually have stuff in my right hand that needs washing, and I need to be able to flip it on. So I was constantly doing this sort of thing, and that was so not working for me. So we swapped those around, and I've got one of those super spiffy glass rinsers. Yeah, you just put it on the plunger, and it shoots water up into it. And if you don't have a glass over it, you push down on it, it shoots water in the air like a great big fountain. We're going to try not to do that this evening. So, like I said, we have things to celebrate today, and one visit from COVID that we don't want to celebrate today. So we're going to do 3 drinks. We're going to do them. They're all originals, or at least riffs on fairly common drinks. But first of all, it is Father's Day, and unfortunately, one of our dear friends, her father is in the hospital. Needed his feeding tube needs to be replaced, so he's in the hospital. And as it turns out, his favorite drink of choice is gin, and if hard-pressed to have a cocktail, his drink of choice would be a gin and tonic. So we are going to toast Anne's dad with a gin and tonic cocktail. Gin and tonics are light and refreshing. This is a little bit of a twist on a gin and tonic, because we're using a couple of kind of strange things. We're using Busby's tonic, and we are using the agave gin. Oh. So this is going to be a little strange. It also has the Ico Japanese bitters in it. Just a dash of the Ico.
That is quite refreshing.
Is it? Did we do good? That is freaking weird. I'm hoping that's... Oh, what is that? That's... Okay, I don't normally think of gin and tonics as having complexity to them and
I know.
having flavor evolve over time. That does. You're like, the initial flavor is like, I'm not sure what that is, and then there's this almost, like, is it a spearmint kind of flavor that I kind of get on the back end of that? That's really strange. I think I like that, but so here's a toast to Anne and your pop. May he do much better in the near future and make things go better for your entire family. So here's to Anne's dad. Might as well toast to everyone's dad everywhere. Regardless of whether or not you are particularly fond of your dad. Even bastards need a little love every once in a while. I am exceedingly fond of my father. Unfortunately, my father passed away many, many years ago. And we will get to that at a later time, because I am not going to throw together a heavy drink, which is I'm going to make one for my dad. But I'll do it later. I'm not going to do that on top of the gin and tonic. We are going to be playing around with multiple alcohols this evening. So for all of you that have been taught not to mix your spirits, don't worry about it.
We have Greg.
Hey, Greg. Howdy. As long as you are... Speaking of fathers, by the way, Greg, how's your dad doing? I want to check up on... I hear you got down to Fresno, or up to Fresno the other day to check in on him, so would love to hear how he's doing. DM me. You don't need to post it in the comments on the drink show. But, all right. There's really no reason why you can't mix spirits. In fact, some of the greatest tiki drinks, like the Scorpion, mix all sorts of different distilled spirits in them. You can drink distilled spirits, and change the spirit as you go across a night of drinking. I just don't recommend combining beer, wine, and distilled spirits. That's kind of a bad combination there. For me personally, doing anything that involves mixed drinks and then adding champagne to that mix is bad news. So I've learned to be very, very careful about that. And it seems to be specifically champagne. So I do my French 75s with Prosecco instead of champagne, and I seem to be fine. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why, but yep, that seems to be the case.
So Greg's dad is doing well.
Excellent. Good to hear it.
And Elizabeth, howdy from Virginia as
Howdy,
of today.
Elizabeth. Yay.
Turns out you
Yay.
did not miss a tiki party.
Yeah, you didn't miss the tiki party. If you couldn't make the tiki party, you didn't have to make me sick in order to make sure that the tiki party didn't happen. No. Clearly, that was not Elizabeth's fault. It's nobody's fault. I was uber cautious. Still got me. I'm boosted and vaxxed to the hilt, and it still got me. I am functional today, but I felt better yesterday, quite frankly, than I do today. So I don't know what's up. Very easy to overdo it, I guess.
And we have David.
David and Chris, I assume. Yay. So hopefully
And Greg says sound is good. But I asked since we moved the mic.
Yes.
Since you have a sound guy.
Oh, by the way, yes, we would like to welcome, you may have forgotten, our blowfish here, whose name is Beauregard. We do live in the South. We are in Virginia. And multiple people suggested the name for our little
sound guy.
Octopus skeleton, who is now our new sound guy. You can see the mic is hanging right there. This is Aloysius. So welcome, Aloysius, and welcome to your new job as my sound guy. So hopefully that all works out. Okay, so what should we do? I have in no particular order for these, other than I can't do the Father's Day drink right now because it just won't go with the gin drink. I think what I should do is go with my COVID drink. That seems like the right thing to do. Especially since the COVID drink does have some gin in it, so it'll be a nice tie-in. It has some gin in it. Okay, so what are we going to do, and what is this drink called? Well, fortunately, we live in an era of modern Western medicine, and those folks of us that I may have to stop that, because My throat's not able to handle it. Excuse me. The smoke is very nice and very ambient, but my throat doesn't handle it particularly well. That seems much better. Thank you, honey. We may have to do something about the lighting because I think I'm green, but that's all right. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Modern medicine. I was able to let my doctor know that I had tested positive and asked her to call in a prescription, and she said she'd do it. And as a consequence, since Thursday or Friday? Thursday? No, it can't be Thursday because then I'd be done with it. I'm on
Thursday night.
I'm on Paxlovid. And so we're going to do a cocktail called Paxlovid this evening. It's a brand new creation here. It is a riff off of an existing drink called the Quarantine Order. So I thought that would be appropriate, but wait till you see what we do with this. I think you'll find it interesting. You will also note that I have not spoken this much in 4 days, so I'm going to try to get through this. That I have changed up the entire bar up here. The bitters are here instead of way over here. All of my straws and swizzle sticks are over here instead of over here. My actual bar gear is here on the left instead of here on the right. And I can now open my cupboards here because I don't have a table sitting right here with all of my glassware and shakers and that sort of thing. It's back here on the bar, so on the counter, right? So things are going to go a little slow this evening because I'm going to be fiddling with where is various things. The first time I've made drinks in this setup, so let's see how we do. This is in fact going to be a shake and drink.
Oh, I'm gonna try something.
Star is going to try something. I'm going to have a go.
So I have finished my drink.
She has. I can tell.
And it's clean.
It is rinsed, absolutely. So we're going to start this with a ½ ounce. I mean, it's that easy. Those are so handy. We're going to go with a ½ ounce of, normally it'd be cinnamon syrup. We're going to go with a spiced syrup. This is my homemade spiced syrup, ½ ounce. This is not the only sweetener in this drink, because a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Now, I should note that the Paxlovid, I assumed Paxlovid was, a tablet, twice a day. Turns out it's actually a combination of 2 different medicines, each with their own tablets, and one of those tablets you have to take 2 tablets of. So it's 3 tablets twice a day. They're not quite horse pills, but they're also not horse pills. Second up, ½ an ounce passion fruit syrup. What I've done is I've taken this passion fruit concentrate and syruped it up with, wow, this is going to be fun getting through this, with sugar for a 2-to-1 mix. So this is a passion fruit, so this is what I use for passion fruit syrup. I did forget something. I forgot the grapefruit juice.
I'll get it in a bit.
So I need a ½ ounce of the passion fruit syrup. I really, really do like using 2-to-1 syrups for everything that I do around here. It's easier to make syrups in fairly large batches, whether that's in this bottle, which is almost 17 fluid ounces, or this Todd Thrasher's bottle, which doesn't tell me how many fluid ounces are on it. But doing this size bottle is easy to do in terms of a syrup. But if your syrup goes bad in just a couple of weeks, there's only 2 of you hanging around, you're not going to go through that much syrup, no matter what you use it on. So as a consequence, I just find it nicer to use the 2-to-1 syrups and have them basically shelf stable. Yes, ma'am.
I want to say it's much easier to walk from where I sit to
true.
Around the bar.
Yeah, we changed that up as well.
To walk back. Because the thing that was here behind Pooch
wider
is now narrower, and we took out one of the bookshelves over here, so there's a wider path.
Yeah, so the books that were all over there, which were bartending and tiki books, are now down in front. And we pulled out a lot of the the empty bottles that we were using for decorations, as well we need the space for more bar books at this point. Okay, so here we go. 1 ounce of grapefruit juice. There you go. And then we need 1
stack
ounce.
of 0.5.
Stack of 0.5, yeah. For those of you that computer geeks at all, you'll understand my stack is no longer 3 slots deep or 6 slots deep. It is about a half a stack deep. So I may wander off subject like I've just done right now. 1 ounce of lime juice, freshly squeezed, of course. We've already done the test. We may do it again at some point of putting fresh lime juice up against lime juice concentrate, up against week old lime juice, and see what happens. There is a new sort of super juice recipe out there, which kind of is a cordially thing with more sugar added back in.
You were going to be able to try at the party, because Dave was going to bring some.
But it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 ounces of Jamaican rum here. And look, this is a COVID cocktail. I could use my good Jamaican rums. I could use my Appleton 12 year, which is my standard cocktail rum. I know, it's a pricey cocktail rum, but sue me. Don't. Just don't. I'm going to go ahead and use an Appleton, but I'm just going to use the Appleton Signature. Their standard line. It's quite a good Jamaican rum. It's not particularly funky, and I don't want it to be particularly funky. But I want a little bit of the Jamaican funk here. So we're going to go 2 ounces of not terribly funky Jamaican rum, and that's the Appleton Signature. That goes back over here. Next up, what else are we going to put in here? We're going to do 5 dashes of some tiki bitters, and I just need to decide which tiki bitters we are going to use here. That's chocolate. That's not the right thing. Those are the burlesque bitters. There's my tiki bitters. We want a fair amount of this. So. There we go. Open this up. 1 dash. I'm going to have to get me some more of this. 2, 3, 4, 5 whole dashes of bitters here.
Which bitter?
This is the Bitterman's Elamakule Tiki bitters. Quite good. Have all those sort of tiki flavors that you would expect in them. Now, if you have had occasion to take a COVID test during the last couple of years, this will probably seem familiar to you, one of the self-tests. Because just before you sit there and wait the 15 or 20 minutes for your results to come back in, you have to take the little swab that you put up your nose and put in the little vial and shake the little vial, and then you take the dropper out and you add 1, 2, 3 drops. I'm going to go 4 there in this case, of the solution, and then it'll like permeate across. It'll diffuse across, and you can tell whether it is a good test because the T line will show up, and then if you're positive, the positive line will show up. So there you go. There's the basics of your cocktail. So what we're going to do now is we are going to put some crushed ice. We're going to put some cubed ice in there. I've got one of these is just kind of a glob of ice. So that'll be fine. That'll give us aeration. This is, like I said, this is the quarantine order with a couple of ingredients changed around in it. We are going to put this into a Collins glass, right? Yep, yeah, Collins glass. And we are going to put that over crushed ice. So what I'm going to do is put in some crushed ice here. I'm going to shove a lime wedge in there. Another lime wedge there. A little more crushed ice on the top. It's taking way too long for this first drink. My apologies. Okay, so this gets shaken. We can do that, right? Yep. go. It's all shaken up. We are going to strain this in here. So I have to figure out where my strainers are. Strainer. I'm just going to reach in here, strain this out. Nice, pretty color. Okay. We are not quite done with this yet, because if you're taking a COVID test, you know you're watching for it to diffuse across that line, right? So what we're going to do is this. We're going to take 1 ounce of our Empress gin, and we're just going to pour it across the top here, like such. And that blue color is going to change to pink as it slowly works its way down through the cocktail. And there you go. I'm going to garnish this up a little bit with a little bit of really nasty looking mint. Sorry, mint. It's been too long. I'm not sure I should smack you around because you may just come off the stem like that. Maybe that's appropriate for COVID. I don't know. Let me go ahead and do this poor thing that's falling apart on me. Right. The other stem. Stick that in there. And then we're going to add a straw. Straw. Surfside sips. Going to do Surfside sip straw. That's way too big. We don't want to use that one. And Pout. We were going to meet the folks from Surfside Sips, and we didn't get a chance to do that because we were going to go to Ohana next week, and we are not safe to travel. Oh, by the way, Star continues to be if I didn't say this, Star continues to test negative. However, she's having much of the same symptoms I'm doing, so we're just assuming she's positive anyway. And there we go. And because we're assuming she's also positive, that she has it, we're also going to share drinks. So you probably shouldn't do this, but go ahead. We're going to do that. There we go.
Well, Elizabeth was going to bring us mint. Now she's going to wait.
Yeah, she should probably wait. There you go. There is our Paxlovid.
That's yummy.
There you go. See, even while dying of COVID, I can make a good, decent cocktail.
So, where's your shaker?
Where's my shaker? The top that I just did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here because I just rinsed it.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That part still has some drink in it.
It still has some drink.
So, for those of you that have been leery of the glass rinsers because they won't fit all the shakers,
right,
and glasswares and stuff, I put a link for the 3D print thing, and my son-in-law just sent me an email that he has finished printing it. It's going to mail. There's a adapter that just sits on it and makes it a half-inch bigger so that you can wash
because right now,
shakers and stuff.
The difference in width between these two is such that this will actually fit over the drink rinser, and this will not. This hits the outer edge and therefore won't press down. So you need something that essentially comes up a little further and out over the lip so that this will hit that outer edge and it'll spray water up into it.
Yeah.
And there you go.
And I found it in one of the 3D libraries. So.
Those 3D libraries are cool.
Yeah.
So are 2D libraries.
Yes. Yes.
Lending libraries and that sort of thing. So there you go. There is my drink, which I refer to as the Paxlovid.
Which you can have another sip of before you take it away.
Okay. I still have this guy over here.
Okay.
I'm sipping on. If I did it again, I think I would go with floral bitters instead of the Japanese bitters. The Japanese bitters is giving me right, not for this.
Tonic, right.
The Japanese bitters is giving me a little bit of that seafood brininess nature that the Japanese bitters are supposed to bring. I don't think it quite works as well as I would kind of hoping, but
Yeah.
okay, so maybe I needed to do a different glass than the Collins glass, because I probably could have done the zombie glass instead. Yes, that should be empty. Well, it has ice in it, but it's essentially empty. So there you go. So that's the bad news, right? Is the whole COVID thing. But there are things to celebrate this weekend. So, of course...
Oh, I have a few comments.
Oh, she has comments. Oh.
Yeah. Who has different bracelets today?
I do.
Our kitties got their first trial in the... We have a
tunnel,
a mesh tunnel.
We have a netting mesh tunnel.
That's got zippers on both ends. So, yeah, so they got
10 feet long, 12 feet long, something like that? No, it's like 10,
6 to 10 feet long.
Yeah, it's longer than I am tall,
yeah.
But it's probably not 10 feet. It's probably 8, something like that. And we dumped both the cats in there and sat outside on the porch with them for just a little bit. They should probably go in there so you can stir that up.
Okay.
There you go. That's our little Patron powder.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So you have their...
I have their collars wrapped around my arm because I took them off when we brought them in.
Yeah.
Or when I was able to find little Miss Doorley and little Miss Dunder.
So,
we did get presents this week.
We did. We also, I want to mention again, now that we have a few more people, we have new sound guy.
Aloysius.
And we have a new kind of setup. You can see more of Pooch at the bar.
Yep.
But it's not as close up, but we're not shooting over his computer.
And I have like more room.
Yeah. So let us know how that works.
And I can keep like syrups and that sort of thing here, right at hand, instead of having to go back here for them. I'll still need to go over here for some alcohols and that sort of thing, but much less frequent will I have to do that. And that gives me, because sometimes in the past I had syrups and juices over here and alcohol over here and other liqueurs back there, and this time, now we don't have that. So we're going to celebrate. We celebrated, we got a present this week. And here's the present. So we are members of the Tiki Land Facebook group, which is a bunch of makers and creators and Disney fanatics that are way into Tiki. And it's a really nice sort of low-key Facebook group. They're very accepting. They're very much anti-gatekeeping on what is and is not Tiki, but you can still have a serious conversation on there about what does it mean to be a Tiki fan, why that's important or not important, and the problematic aspects of it and that sort of thing. We really like Tiki Land. But they are makers and crafters on there, and Tiki Land does have their own series of mugs, and so you can get some of their mugs, and we, subject to all the usual restrictions on, trade and that sort of thing, or supply lines and that sort of thing. It's been a long time since we put in an order for this mug, but we got it. But we got it, and this is not a small mug, but I think you'll see why we had to get it. So, what the mug is it's a barrel, like a barrel that would hold whiskey or rum, and there's this great big tentacle arm that comes up and encircles the mug, right? And this is, what did we say, it was like 30 ounce. This is a 30 ounce, and it says Tiki Land Trading Company on the bottom. That's the makers of the mugs. Got it? It is fairly hefty. That's a big boy. My apologies again for coughing. You'll note there is no live studio audience this week. No dead studio audience either. We didn't keep it that way. Along with this mug, there is a drink recipe for the Life Preserver, which could have been another good choice for today's cocktail, but we're not going to do that. And we got this really cool pick. We haven't even taken out of its plastic yet.
Dan says nice mug.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Here is the pick. This is This is a bad boy. This has got some heft to it. I could probably use this to break ice with, but I'm not going to. So what you have here is a typical swizzle stick. It's not a pick, it's a swizzle stick. And up here is the crow's nest of a ship with a yard arm and tattered sailing hanging down from it. It's very cool looking. It is quite heavy. It is definitely a nice high quality pick, and it's going to go right in here with the rest of the
Well, it fits very nicely in the...
Supposedly it fits very nicely in this mug, you know, like that, which I gotta say, that looks pretty darn cool, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our gifties that we got this week. So now we have to figure out what we're celebrating. So now we can either do Juneteenth or we can do Father's Day. Which one do you want to do?
Let's do Juneteenth first.
Star wants to do Juneteenth, so we shall do Juneteenth. So the Juneteenth cocktail we are also going to make in a Collins class. There's a weird smokiness to that gin and tonic.
From the gin.
From the agave gin. That is, I would not pick up on it as being tequila, because that's usually how that gin comes across. But no, it comes across, and Star's gonna, well, you're all gonna go, ooh. Star will go, yeah, that's probably why I like it. It reminds me of cigarettes. It just does. So the cocktail that I'm gonna do is a riff off of Smuggler's Cove's hibiscus rum punch. The hibiscus rum punch is a light, refreshing drink. It's also kind of bright red, which is appropriate for Juneteenth. So Juneteenth has been celebrated for a very long time here in the United States, but it hasn't been a mainstream holiday for quite a while, at least amongst communities other than the African American community. But I'm given to understand from reading up on Tales of the Cocktail and some award-winning cocktails from Tales and award-winning bartenders from Tales that it was quite common at gatherings celebrating Juneteenth to have some form of red drink. Now, for the kids, this usually meant big red soda. For the adults, it was this mysterious red, potent beverage that never seemed to empty. So who knows what was in it? There is no canonical red drink or red punch recipe, although there is one from an award-winning bartender from Tales who wrote an article about this, and this is where this idea is coming from. Which
we have a root.
We have the reference for who that bartender is. Star will have to pull that up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build this in the same way that they do at Smuggler's Cove, which is we're going to start by putting 2 ounces of seltzer into a Collins glass. We're going to shake the drink, and then we're going to pour the drink over that in here. Okay, so we'll start with 2 ounces of seltzer. So this is fresh seltzer, done via SodaStream. And we want 2 ounces of that. So that's going to go in here, and then we're just going to set that aside. 2 ounces fresh cold soda. Next up, we are going to take our shaker tin. Oh, look, it's the shaker tin we were just using, but it's clean because we've rinsed it. Alright, we need a ½ ounce of hibiscus syrup. Now, the jar says Todd Thrasher's Tonics and Elixirs hibiscus syrup. It lies. This is homemade hibiscus syrup. This is a 2-to-1 syrup. 2-to-1 syrup that I have let dried hibiscus leaves or dried hibiscus flowers soak in until it got the color that I wanted.
I can mix that again.
And so it is this bright red color. This is primarily where we're going to get the red color for our drink. So what do we want to do? We need a ½ ounce of this hibiscus syrup. The hibiscus does give the syrup a little bit of a flowery note, but also a tart note. And it fits really, really well with pomegranate, in grenadine. That's the word I'm looking for. And so when I do a house blended grenadine, I almost always put some of this in there to give it a more reddish color, because my homemade grenadine comes out very dark. Very, very dark. Okay, so there we go. We've got that. We need a ½ ounce of some sweet liqueur. You could use a pomegranate liqueur or strawberry liqueur, something along those lines. I figured, why the heck not? I've got this great big bottle of Tutti Frutti. I might as well use it. So we are going to stretch up ½ ounce Tutti Frutti. Oh, it's foaming.
It's got glitter.
It's got glitter. So for Juneteenth, we're going glittery because celebration. Wow, I have not done this much talking in a very long time, it seems. Wow. Oh. This is a crazy episode. Trying to keep the energy level up. 1/3 ounce other syrup. Some other syrup. We are going to use our lime cordial for this. So this is essentially... I haven't been coughing this much until today, until right now. Like I said, new symptoms every day, right?
It's the symptom roulette.
Symptom roulette.
Is what people are calling it.
So this is essentially a lime oleo, is primarily what we've done here. There's a little more sugar in here. It's not quite a lime oleo because I use the actual meat of the limes as well. This is actually a little closer to the base for the super juice than it is anything else. So we're going to go, they say 1/3 ounce. So I'm going to eyeball this and go about halfway between 1/4 and 1/2. There we go. And then we need 1.5 ounces, 1.5 ounces of a blended aged Jamaican rum. Unlike the Paxlovid, we're celebrating, so we should use better rum. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the Dr. Bird, which I almost did the Dr. Bird for the Paxlovid because of the doctor, right? I thought that might be appropriate. We're going to go 1 ounce of this.
David says you can only you have the excuse to only do 2 drinks and take care of yourself and your throat.
We'll see.
I could. I'm not going to, but I could. But that's only 1 ounce, right? And then the ½ ounce of the Tutti Frutti, that's not enough alcohol, right? So give me another ½ ounce at least to get a 2 ounce pour. And I still need some aged Jamaican. So, well, no, I have the aged Jamaican from the Dr. Bird. I need to kick this up a notch. So we're going to go with the Rum Fire Jamaican Overproof from Hamden Distillery. Hamden, Worthy Park, love you both. I think I love Hamden just a wee bit more. Just a wee bit. So I was going to go 1.5 ounces of Jamaican rum. We're still going to go 1.5 ounces of Jamaican rum, but there's 1 ounce of Dr. Bird and ½ ounce of the Rum Fire. That's how we're going to do this. So this is 1.5 ounces of rum, but this ½ ounce is coming in at 63% alcohol. So, I mean, yeah, you're getting pretty close to a full 2 ounce pour here. I'm not jipping. And look at that. Look at the red color. Nice, eh? Hopefully that looks red. With the green lighting, it may not. I don't know. All right, so we're going to shake, and then we're going to double strain this thing into that glass, and then we're going to add some cracked ice to it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to stick a straw in there. I would garnish it with some dried hibiscus flowers, but they're upstairs, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not sending my wife up the stairs to do it either. So, you know, you don't get the pretty hibiscus flowers. How's that? And I'm actually going to add a little crushed ice to this as well.
And refresh my memory, what is in the glass?
What is in the glass? That is seltzer. Or club soda. Or it is basically water with CO2 added to it.
Dan says bird is the word.
Bird is the word. There we go. You see the red just streaking down there. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. Dear wife, next time you move the incense, you should tell me where it is, so I don't look over at the lamp that's over here and see smoke rising through it. So, why do I disappear off screen? Because I think my house is burning down. That was a little amusing. Oh, okay. Got that. Got this. We're gonna double strain
We have
this.
a Cam.
Hey, Cam. To anyone else I might be missing, hey. All right, so this is gonna go in here. We're double straining this. It's gonna turn a nice color red. It's got sparklies in it. There's something about the overproof Jamaicans that give off this almost bananas Foster smell to them. This caramelized sugar and banana smell that it's hard to describe in any other way. And that's really it. This is what the glass is supposed to be doing. You've got a little bit of bubbly, a little kind of clear on the bottom, very reddish. What I'd like to do is crack some ice in here. We'll see if I can get the ice to crack. My ice is particularly hard, and it's not the most pure.
Our new sound tech
Yes?
picks up the music better.
Oh, well, that's good.
And the shaking.
Oh, sorry. Wow. Ooh. You know, little cracked ice. It's looking real pretty. We did full cubes. And in fact, in the interest of my fingers, that's what we're going to do. Put that in there. What do I want? I want to garnish this a little.
Do you need help?
Well, of course I need help, but not with this. You know, but since I opened it earlier and just restocked it.
Careful, because you're going to knock it over onto the glass.
There we go. So amusing. So these are essentially, they're not essentially, they are. They're just dried lime peels or lime wheels. Where's my knife? Over there somewhere.
It is.
I have the second one
Here you
that
go.
I've moved around. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Like a well-oiled machine we are. Or not. Something that. Slip that over the edge here. Like such. The lime. We will stick the Surfside Sip straw that I was going to pull out last time. Nope. Once again, we're changing our mind. Into here. That one. Just like such. Feels to me like we need a swizzle stick in here. It is based on a Smuggler's Cove drink, so we're going to drop a Smuggler's Cove swizzle in there. You could add a little mint to it. You could add some orange sprigs or something. Anything along those lines that was back in the corner. I'm going to take a sip. Oh, yeah, so isn't that really nice?
That's a dangerous picnic drink.
Oh, it is. It is. So if this is your red drink, yeah, you're in some real trouble, I think. It could maybe do with a little more tartness,
Okay.
right? The tartness here, there's no lime, there's no lemon in here aside from the lime cordial.
And the tutti frutti is sort of.
It's sort of awfully sweet, right? I mean, we could always take just a little bit of lime juice. Do that. Do I know how much that is? No, I know. Better, actually. because it was so
That's
super.
even more dangerous now.
But it was so super smooth and sweet. See, the thing that was keeping it from being too dangerous previously was it was a little too on the sweet side, I think. Now, with just a little bit more lime juice in it, Bing balances out better, and all of a sudden, you quaff, 6, 7 of those, you'd be in real trouble. All right, I'm pretty well assured that I've gone massively long tonight, right? No, I haven't. I've still got like 15 minutes before this episode is supposed to end. So clearly my sense of time is also off. Hey, here's for new symptoms. Time dilation. All right, so we do have one more drink, and this goes out for Father's Day. So it is Father's Day. It's Father's Day weekend. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there that have very good relationships with their fathers. There's people out there that have had troubled relationships with their fathers. There are people whose fathers are still with them and still care for them, and there are people whose fathers have sadly passed on. Or
There's people whose fathers are watching this show with them.
that's probably true.
Cam and David are both
Cam
on.
and David are both watching. So David, being father, is watching the show. So this goes out to all the fathers and all of the children of fathers, those two other children, regardless of the relationship you have with your father. Now, this is a little hard, I will say. My father passed away a couple decades ago, but he passed away right around Father's Day. And so Father's Day is really a mixed bag for me because we buried my dad on Father's Day. Well, okay, we buried my dad the day before Father's Day, but, close enough, right? When you're going to do a family dinner after burying your father, and the restaurant you're going to is decorating for Father's Day, it's a little rough. You can tell there's certain events that are seared into my brain. That's one of them. So Father's Day is always a little rough for me, but I dearly love my father. I dearly love the other people that have been father figures to me, some of which have also passed on. So that makes this a little bit of a hard holiday in terms of its specialness. But we are going to do something that I think is reminiscent of a drink that my dad would probably drink, even though I know he never had the chance to drink this particular cocktail. Dad liked to drink Manhattans. Dad liked to drink. Leave it at that. And all of this glassware that you're seeing, all of this beautiful bamboo stemware, all of that came from my dad and mom's collection. And so I wanted to be sure, I've got an extensive collection of tiki mugs and that sort of thing. I wanted to be sure that for today, everything we did was in glassware from my parents. So that's what we're going to do again here. And once again, this is a shake and drink. It's a little bit based on a Manhattan, but it's shake and drink, so obviously it's clearly not a Manhattan. Has a little bit of the kind of whiskey sour element to it, but there's no egg white in it either. So we're going to get a little weird here. All right, so what are we going to do for a sweetener for this? For the sweetener, we are going to use Lieber & Co.'s caramelized fig syrup. Why are we going to use caramelized fig syrup? Remember I said endearing sort of seared memories? The house in San Diego had a fig tree in the back, and I have this distinct memory of my father walking up to that fig tree, pulling down this fat, juicy, gorgeous fig, sun-ripened, just pulling it off the tree, opening it up, diving in, taking a bite, giving me a bite. Just something magical about that sun-warmed fig flavor. So, yeah, figs I associate, especially fresh figs, I associate with my dad. All right, we're going to go 2 teaspoons here. There we go. Voice is giving out. I don't think we're dead sexy anymore. I'm not sure where we're going.
I can read the ingredients if you need.
I think we might be going dying soldier or something. I don't know. Captain, the Nazis are using tear gas or something. I don't know. Whatever. We need some lemon juice here. We go a full ounce of lemon juice. I am going to hope that the fig syrup is enough sweetener to counteract this. Obviously, I have not been spending a great deal of my time mixing cocktails while I've been sick. So these cocktails are essentially first try out the bandwagon. So out the bandwagon, that makes no sense. First try out of the gate. That's what I'm trying to go for. Odd memories come to you when you're thinking of Dad. The Pink Panther just came on, the music, and one of the first movies my parents ever took me to was a Pink Panther movie. So this is appropriate. One of my dad's absolute favorite stories is the cask of Amontillado. So we're going to do some sherry. I don't have any Amontillado sherry, but we're going to use sherry anyway. So there's going to be 3/4 of an ounce of sherry in here. And then, in a true Manhattan form, we are going to use some rye. This is 100-proof, bottled and bond, old Overholt rye. And we're going to go 3/4 of an ounce there. Could I have stirred this? Sure. I don't think it would have done much different other than the lemon juice may not have incorporated as well as you might want it to. And so that's why we're doing it this way. I have run myself out of cubed ice. That's not a problem here. Because what I'm going to do is dilute this down a little. There's the cubed ice. By using some crushed ice. Do a quick whip shake of this. No, that's not clean. Here it is. Did you come over here and clean this?
What is this? Yes.
Oh, well, then I can use it. Communication. It's key in any relationship, especially between a bartender and his barback. If I were doing a true whip shake here, I would, in fact, just have put in a little bit of crushed ice and just shaken it until that ice just disappeared. So it's not a true whip shake, but it's close enough. I'm going to stick a straw in here and see how this tastes. Again, never made this one before. That's really interesting. I think it's missing something, but I don't know what. I have no clue.
And what's this one called?
This one is, hey Dad, try this.
See the similarity? Look up, Pooch.
Hi. There we go. This is the, hey Dad, try this. I could stick a lemon wheel in here, or actually what might be better. I'm going to reach over and grab a little one of these orange twists. My
Tweezers were on the other side.
Yep. Somewhere. There they are. So these are Collins orange twists in syrup. So what these are is just the rind of an orange that has been sitting in syrup and dropped on the bar mat. Okay, so we're just going to do that. Set 2 of those there. I could skewer them. I'm not going to. Put those back. You know, Dad always was a sucker for a cocktail cherry. It's one of the reasons why I think he liked Manhattans, was for the cocktail cherries. So we're going to go ahead and do that. What kind of pick do I want to use for Dad? Sure, we'll do this. Dad was Dad followed me into Boy Scouts, essentially. And he became very involved in Boy Scouts. And, in fact, led a couple of training camps, became involved in the district. And one of the things that he did was I don't even remember what they're called. It's like the, I don't know, the Wild Man of the Mountains or something like that, where he taught kids how to use black powder rifles, buckskin, right? The buckskin adult leader training, and then taking the kids and showing them how ye olden times the hunters and trappers and stuff used to do their wares. So there we have it. Here is a, hey Dad, try this. I think this falls in line mostly with, here's a bunch of things that remind me of my dad, and I'm throwing them all together in a drink. Much in the same ways as when I was a very young kid, I would make breakfast for Dad. And, you know, peanut butter and jelly pancakes and things like that. Probably with Fruit Loops in them or something, I don't know. So here's a bunch of things that remind me of you, Dad, thrown in a cocktail, and, well, let's hope it comes out all right. That's an ice cube. I'm not spitting stuff out. I think it's a little heavy on the lemon juice, but otherwise I think it's pretty tasty. Star, you want to give this a try? Wow. Just wow. So, moral of the story, whatever story it's been, is no matter what precautions you take, you can still get COVID. That doesn't mean you shouldn't vaccinate and get boosted, because I
have not had to go to the doctor or the hospital.
Right.
Ditto here. I have symptoms. I have a
low
enough viral load that I am still testing negative.
At no point were either of us concerned, like overly concerned about our health. And I don't think I feel a little worse than I did yesterday, but I don't feel like danger, Will Robinson. This doesn't feel like it's on a road to a worse place.
And we had to cancel our hotel reservation and a couple other things. They are all absolutely great about waiving cancellation fees when you're like, sorry, we can't make it, we have COVID.
They're like, why are you canceling so late? And you're like, because we have COVID. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to refund your money.
Waive the fees, yeah. And we were able to sell most of our tickets for Ohana. Mm-hmm. We had luckily not laid in supplies for the tiki party yet.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean,
it happens. And, I was supposed to be an election official Tuesday, and I'm not. And they were, absolutely, thank you for letting us know.
Ahead of time, not day of, right?
Yeah.
Which some people would do. Yeah. So no, there we go. This is our COVteenthers Day. COVteenthers? COVteenthers Day special. This is episode 113, by the way. These two.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
Yeah. And I just edited episode 42 for YouTube. So
yeah, so we're actually approaching, getting around to almost a year on YouTube, which will be pretty freaking amazing as well. Yeah. We'll have to do something special for that 100th episode going up on YouTube.
Yeah. 100th episode will be a lot.
I'm sorry, 1 year episode.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Stack 0.5.
Yeah, stack 0.5. So this has been me and my dead sexy voice attempting to do episode 113 of Quarantiki. I'm tired. My voice is shot. I've made, counting the gin and tonic, 4 different drinks this evening, and I'm tired. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up here and say goodbye to all of you.
Let us know what you think of the new layout.
Yeah, let us know what you think of this new layout. I'm pretty happy, but that shouldn't cause any of you to have to change your opinions of it. If you like or don't like something, let us know.
And I'm going to do a step back again.
We may or may not listen to you. Who knows? Oh, she's going to move the camera backwards, and instead she pulled the cord out of the camera. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. So, new bookshelf, or moved bookshelves.
And sticky because of the fig syrup on them.
Yeah.
It's been gorgeous 3 days here, by the way. We've been in the 70s. We've had the windows and doors open, airing the house out, which is probably good for us.
We moved the tikis up onto the bar.
Yeah. So
Idea from Brooke.
So these guys, you may not know, we picked these up from a garage sale. I was home. Star took a picture of them and said, "Hey, do we need these?" And I said, "Sure, they look awesome." I was unaware of the size because there was nothing in the frame to give me a sense of scale. I thought she was taking a picture of them on a table. So I thought they were like this tall. I'm like, "Oh, those are cool, you know, sitting around about that tall." She comes home and they're, you know, telephone pole diameter guys. So, yeah. And now they look really cool sitting
And the new
on the
sink.
bar. Yep, the new sink. Oh, which you can, here, we'll even do this. Let's see this. There you go. You got it?
Yeah. All
Nice glass.
right. Okay, so we're going to sign off.
We are